All right, it's day 2. Feels like day 22 to me. We came off Midwest Drags last week. Had a couple days off while I was at Midwest Drags. He was at Richie's shop working on this to get this ready to go. So that's why he wasn't at Midwest Drags, because he was working on getting this car ready to come here, Rocky Mountain Race Week. So yesterday, to just kind of catch up on things, yesterday was a big mad thrash to get here, because not only did he take the 2 weeks working on it during Midwest Drags, well, before Midwest Drags, and then going into Midwest Drags, and then after Midwest Drags. He came home, graduated on Tuesday from high school, went back Wednesday morning, 5 a.m. I got down there at midnight Thursday night because I had other work to do. I got down there midnight Thursday night thinking we're gonna load the car up and go through the tune-up, get everything like sorted out, like all the good stuff, so that we can come here and be a little prepared. Well, I got there to a car, is, you guys might have seen my Instagram post, it was halfway done, 3/4 of the way done. I don't know what percentage. All I know is it was scattered all over Richie's shop, and all we had to do is figure out how to get all the pieces in his shop onto this so that this could come here. So I got there at midnight. He had been up since he left the house after graduation Wednesday, 5 a.m. He had been up until I got there Thursday night at midnight, all the way till about 4 a.m. that we were trying to get the windshield in, and he was falling asleep in the passenger seat. So I said, go take a nap. So he slept from 4 a.m. till 8 a.m. I finally at 6:30 a.m. said, I gotta take a nap. So I took a nap 6:30 a.m. till 8:30 a.m. Friday morning. Richie didn't. Well, he fell asleep welding a couple times. We caught him like just head down, passed out. But maybe for about 30-minute cat naps that he was taking. But it was such a mad thrash to do all that. That went into, so that was Friday. I get up 8:30 a.m. He gets up 9 a.m. Continuing the thrash at 10:30 p.m. Friday night in Indianapolis, 820 miles from here. I know that because of the GPS. 820 miles from here. We started it, loaded it in the trailer, and that was it. Didn't test anything, didn't try anything, didn't do anything. All we knew is that it started, it went into drive, and we could put it in the trailer. So that was Friday night, 10:30. Drove all night. He got to catch up on sleep in the bunk of the toter home. I did not see him from the time we loaded the car. He said, "Are you all set, Dad?" Yep. That was it. I saw him 30 minutes before we got to the track here when I was filling up with gas. He finally came out of the loft. So, all right, today's challenges is, we got it to go down the track yesterday. I made the shakedown pass with it. Aiden did a couple passes with it. So we successfully did that. We drove it back here to the hotel. Now today we have to hopefully drive it, convert it from E85, which is in it right now, over to pump gas. Flex fuel sensors in it, and we just have to get that working correctly. Hopefully everything works, and we switch over to pump gas. We gotta drive 350 miles to Pueblo and do all this again tomorrow night. So today is just a drive day, but 360 miles and a car that, besides driving 3/4 mile passes yesterday, it drove about 500 feet from Richie's garage into the trailer. So that's today's. That's where we're at. We'll check in with you later. You there?
Yes.
That's pretty sweet. Test, 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 test. All right. So the volumes work the opposite. The radio goes that way to that way. Perfect. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do with ourselves with something like that.
Pretty fancy.
like, we gotta open some of these windows up, or else we're just gonna keep getting hotter as the day goes on. Or as the minutes go on. Car's only running 160, so it's only at 160 right now. So that part's all fine, but it's also 160 in the car. So I'm like, we got a chance to cool it off. Let's just open some stuff up.
Window doesn't roll.
It doesn't what?
Roll all the way down.
Well, no, because of the hub. Trying to figure out whether we should open this or not.
Gotta move your stuff so all your racing gear.
How's it going to flow out?
Because the glass is open.
Repositioning things to see if we can accomplish better airflow. Well, it said 56 left, but I guess we're supposed to go straight. A bunch of people are saying, oh, you got to go left, you got to go left. So we went left, and we're on 56. It says 56/156, but obviously we're on 56, and we should be on 156. So
take out the competition.
So this is a longer route than the route that we already have. So I guess we turn around and we go back and get on 156. So that's where we're off to now. No problem.
Trans is getting a little hot, so I have to take the bottom panel off to let some airflow down there. Hopefully it'll cool it up.
It's a little warm. Engine's fine. Don't have a temp sensor on the trans, so feels like it's hot. Don't know. It's hot as Hades inside there. Don't know. Freaking hot as hell in there, so we pulled the pans off the bottom of the trans and stuff, hoping that gets more airflow through there. We don't have there's no trans temp gauge. Engine is, we can pick whatever temperature we want. I mean 80 miles an hour, 3,000 RPM. I mean it was 185. I mean if we're down closer to 70 miles an hour, it's like 175 to 180. I mean, and it could run as high as 200, 210. I mean, it wouldn't be an issue. But so it's definitely not that. Trans has no trans temp, so we don't know. All we know is it's hot as hell inside. You can't touch the transmission, so we might get just like one of the shoot guns, see if we can just shoot the transmission, try and find, because I know nothing about the trans. I know nothing about the converter. I don't know what a flash is at. I don't know any of that stuff. So trying to find a common balance where it's not slipping too much and it's pretty much engaged all the way, because if it's not, the more it's slipping, the more heat it's going to build. So don't know what that is. I mean, if it's got a 3000 stall in it, and obviously we run closer to 3000, it hypothetically should run cooler. So if we run closer to 2500, then it should be slipping more, building heat. But without a trans temp gauge, we have no clue. So we hope we've covered the stuff for our comfort by getting pans off the bottom and tins off there. So we bought some jacks so we could reach under there and do it, but we're going to need the ramps to put the car up on to be able to put them back on tomorrow. But gear vender's not engaged. We just made sure it had power. We don't really need it. I mean, everything's cruising along good, but luckily we have a spare to, I mean, we've never turned it on, so therefore we don't know if it ever worked, didn't work, we don't know. So, but that is what that's what we're messing with right now. It's just fueling up, and I think it's 100 miles to the checkpoint. See if we can control, you gotta put the bag in first, dude. See if we can control the temperature better, so that we're more comfortable, and more importantly than us, the trans is more comfortable. So we just have to suck up the heat. The trans can decide it doesn't care anymore. So we're hoping not to get to that point. Oh, we gotta look at it again. Like, actually, it's just the idle. Like, it's searching. So, but whatever, easy deal. I'm driving down the road. It's fine. Actually, I was just stopping. Was gonna let somebody jump in with him and ride because everything's smooth. And then all of a sudden, as coming to the intersection, it started surging, and she wasn't happy. So.
Changing the tune-up stuff doesn't idle. So trying to make it idle better. Stalled coming into the gas station.
So we officially made it to the checkpoint. So 200 some miles in. So I think 130 some miles to go. So all looking good there. And everything with the car's running fine. The people inside tend to be a little wet. So can't take in enough water. Never have to pee. So
Yeah, my water is boiling in the cup.
you'll get into kind of a zone where maybe the breeze is coming in okay, and it's like really, really hot, but you're sort of like zenning out in it, like, oh, like hot yoga or something. And then it gets a little bit hotter than that, and it sucks again.
Oh, it's 100 degrees. Who knows what temperature it is inside that car, but the air temperature in Joe's car says 100. So cruising along good. I think we're about 50 miles from Pueblo.
That's me or not, but parts started flying through.
Yeah, I saw that and I heard it.
Yeah.
I think we just maybe.
I don't know if we hit something or if this is off of me, but it's that and this.
No, that's out of the dash.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Okay.
Aiden hit something in the road, he thinks, and all this stuff flew in.
Now you're just.
But then I looked at it and I see the turn signal indicator, and I'm like, oh, that looks like that might have fell out of the dash. So Aiden's getting hit in the legs with parts, but luckily they're just
Yeah, they fell out of the back of the dash, I think.
from the old cast
And
thing.
like,
Yeah, there must be more of them too, because unless they hit the road.
it sounded nuts too, because like it
Right,
was like a pinball in there, like there's all this stuff
Oh
bouncing
yeah,
around.
better be safe than sorry, but like, yeah. Temperatures were good, everything else was fine?
Yeah, I've been running it like a little harder and it hasn't gotten above 180, so.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Cool.
car is not getting
Well, I'll
hot.
hold these parts for you. Or I'll actually put them in the box for you. So you did your first drive. 330 miles? I don't know, 340 miles? Vent free, other than when the dash fell apart. So, all good. So made it to Pueblo. I think it's 100 degrees right now, here, literally, for real. What that is, and any piece of metal on that, and the people that were in it, we don't know that temperature, but it's hot. So car ran cool for it, but that's still hot for the occupants.
Drive was good, but a little warm.
What was the best part of the drive?
Right now.
Getting here?
Getting here, being going.
So that probably explains what was the worst part of the drive?
The drive.
No, the heat, the temperature.
Heat, temperature, the dash blowing up.
I mean, the car drove fine, right?
Yeah. No problems other than the heat and dash. But it was fun.
Either way, for something they slapped together, I mean, they did It did its 340 miles. It did its track stuff yesterday, so on tomorrow to day 2. So I think tomorrow morning Joe's got a buddy with a shop here, so we might put up on the hoist, do an oil change with it. We got to put the panels back on the bottom, take it to the track. I mean, did that to try and get it to cool down. And what else?
Gear vendor.
Gear vendor, we got to check the fluid to see if there's any fluid in it, because that might be the problem with the gear vendor. So, but all things considered, I mean, it cruised at 80 miles an hour, 3,000 RPM, and didn't overheat or anything doing it. And I mean, it felt smooth going down the road. It looked smooth going down the road. So, just all in all, looks like a shit box. So, please like and subscribe. If you want to see more of this stuff, comment, post, get over to Sick the Mag, look at that, because I mean, not just this car will be in that, all the cars at the event, or most of the cars, all the carnage, all the behind the scenes stuff, all the stuff that you're not going to see on social media, that's where you'll find it at. So if you really like the stuff and you really like watching people get kicked in the nuts multiple times in a day, because they're taking something they slapped together in 3 weeks and they're trying to drive it for over 1,000 miles, that's the magazine for you. SickTheMag.com. Go check it out. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.
Subscribe.